It's the Breaking Rise News, and it's time for the press preview. A first look at our sister publication this day to see what it has on its headline. It says, Winners and Losers, How They Shape Osun Governorship Poll. And then 7 takeaways from Osun gubernatorial election. Tinubu Adeboye meet of a Muslim ticket. You can find that on page 34. And then 2023, just above the This Day logo, INEC in talks with CBN over election material storage, says Okoye. NMPC transition group CFO expected to intensify internal checks and control.
Let's take a look at the Punch newspaper this morning. Osun governorship poll, it says Adeleke's camp worries over litigation and woos PDP faction. That's on page 2. Just below that photo there with the caption, Shanties, shops raised as fire guts Lagos sawmill. More headlines about the nameplate of the Punch newspaper this morning. Federal government, UN to identify terrorist criminals at the airports. Also, NLC dares police says protest notification is unnecessary. More on that on page 14.
The Nation newspaper is leading with 100% pay rise likely for striking varsity teachers. Makinde inaugurates Lawal as deputy in Oyo State. And Tinubu as the APC's presidential candidate to present Kashim Shettima tomorrow.
All right, the Tribune. Abji Infantic moves to end ASU strike, holds meeting with vice chancellors, others. Aviation Union threatens to shut down airports. That's found on page 3. Your Assembly approves Bayo Lawal as deputy governor after removing Olanio. And then just at the top mass there, AFDB SEC signed $460,000 back to deploy surveillance system in capital market. Oshuguber fallout, PDP, APC, bandy words over Adeleke. Cultism, police to investigate possible over link to 1 million boys. Again, fire destroys Okobaba Plank Market in Lagos.
Some international papers, The Independent, one leading headline on the front page. It says ministers told to rewrite climate emergency plan. That photo there is a wildfire near Chesterfield yesterday, which was one of 24 recorded in just 48 hours in Britain. And for the press preview, let's bring in Emmanuel Bello, who joins us now from our outside studio. Emmanuel, good morning. Thanks for joining us. Let's take a look at This Day newspaper. And its leading story says winners and losers, how they shaped Osun governorship poll. And if you look at those photos there, it's categorized winners, the photos and names of the winners, who the writer considers the winners of that poll, and the losers. And the writer, Chuks Okoche, says the #1 winner is President Muhammadu Buhari for creating space and an environment for INEC to conduct a credible election. As he said, the Osun people have spoken with their ballot, and that matters. They also spoke about the losers, and some losers that were interesting are some PDP governors, Wike and Sheyi Makinde. So what are some of your outtakes from this particular stories? Who are some of your winners and losers of the Osun governorship poll? I think the Independent National Electoral Commission for me, should have made the winners list in this story. What do you think?
Yes, indeed. INEC should have made that list because maybe the writer ran out of space and so decided to leave INEC out. But INEC should have been on that list because if not for INEC, this wouldn't have been possible. It's one thing to make the laws and sign it, and then it's another thing for it to be executed. And so we must give kudos to the Independent National Electoral Commission for the conduct of the Osun election.
And the legislature, yeah, we'll have Bello and the legislature who
Yes.
signed that electoral law. All right, Bello, sorry, Emmanuel, glad to have you now. Before, it looked like you were a little bit dumb. Sorry about that.
We couldn't hear you.
But now
Don't mind
now you can speak. Now we can hear you. Good.
All right, well, yeah, I was just saying that also to be added on that list of winners, we will be the media. You know, we stayed on the story. We kept hammering on the need for free and fair election, and of course, it's a victory for anyone who is interested in, you know, vote. You know, the issue of vote mattering in an election. So. Those are the winners. I think a lot of people were happy, not just because some tendencies were defeated in that election, but also because of what it portends for future elections. So a lot of people were happy because, well, the beavers, the new system of capturing election, you know, has heightened hopes that if people go to vote or they go to cast their vote, it will be counted. So for many people, that's really raised their hopes about elections, about, you know, going to cast their vote and it will count. So those are also winners in the equation. But it's interesting that in this story, President Buhari, you know, got a good one, and we're giving him very beautiful reviews, raving reviews, if you like, about the fact that he said he was going to bequeath an electoral system that is transparent, that is, you know, an election that we can all trust, and that he's actually making that happen. So he's called a winner here. I mean, for a president that we are all bashing for his, you know, his records in his performance in security, the economy, it seems to be getting elections right. So, and this paper is calling that out and saying that, look, the president has tried. You know, he has said and the fact that the president came out, you know, congratulating the winner who actually defeated his own party. So a lot of people think that is a good one for President Buhari. And then, of course, Bola Tinubu on the other end of the long line of winners and losers. Because of, you know, his boastful nature, especially the chairman of the party, the chairman of APC. APC chairman, before the election, said that, look, just bring me back the victory. I don't care how you make it. And he's always saying that. He's always saying, look, just go win these elections. Let the other party go to court. Just win the election by any means possible. So he made those charges. But this story is clearly also showing him that he's a loser in the equation. So you have President Buhari, you know, whose party was defeated, seen as one of the victors in this contest, and then Adamu Abdullahi, who was actually very, very democratic in his approach and his rantings about this kind of matters, also identified as one of the losers. In between them, even our Davido, the musician, actually also is seen as a winner in this one. Did his music play such a serious impact or a serious role in rallying the base of supporters? Does that mean that he's more popular than Portable? Well, this is not a musical contest, it was an electoral one. But we're identifying him as one of the winners in this long list of winners and losers.
Well, Emmanuel, still talking about that election, I was perusing a message, a gratitude message from the governor-elect, and he seemed to have missed out one name, and that's the Rivers State Governor, Nyesom Wike. Do you think it's a good advice for a party that's trying to get that man into the fold?
Well, I think the party is still trying to, you know, run up to Wike and everything. But I think why his name is being dragged in here as one of the losers is that, look, the PDP can say, well, you see, we went into that contest, we won it without your whatever influence we're talking about. So I think that's where he is identified as one of the losers, because, you know, he stayed away. A lot of people believe that that would have, you know, affected the PDP. But he didn't. Staying away doesn't. The pictures we're seeing is that of the governor of Edo State. You saw Saraki there. You saw Diri there. You know, so they were the one actually, you know, in the forefront of the election. So I think Wike came in as a loser in this list, because look, whether with or without his influence, Osun was won. So, and then of course Makinde, Governor Makinde, who was supposed to play a central role as a leading governor in the Southwest, PDP governor, who actually stayed away, backed the Wike group. So I think they were lumped together in that set as people who have lost. But yes, this is a newspaper making its analysis. It's not the party calling out people as winners or losers. So, and I think the party will continue to make you know, inroads into trying to rein in people like Makinde or Wike and get them closer as the focus will now shift to presidential elections.
To be fair to the chairman, he always says, we don't tolerate failure, but he says win within the law. He always asks that when he makes all those comments about winning and not failure. Let's go to the Nation newspapers. Federal government silent as marketers hike petrol pump price, and then 100% pay rise likely for striking varsity teachers. How will that pan out? I mean, talking about other sectors of the economy.
Well, yeah, it's while elections are on the front burners, all the other issues are still there. The energy crisis, the strike action, and all the other issues they are dealing with. In fact, some papers are even reporting today some security crisis again around the country. So yes, elections are going on indeed, like you say, but all the other issues, the ones that we're dealing with, are still there. The strike is still biting real hard. Just like those queues are beginning to show again and again every day, and nothing seems to be done about that. So newspaper will still have to focus on this. While elections are very important, we still have to focus on some other things that we're dealing with: security, education, the health sector, and all the other stories that are making the rounds in the polity.
All right, thank you so much, Emmanuel Bello, for joining us this morning.